Affairs, addictions, and other devastating sins can often leave us feeling disqualified. Certainly, this is the case when perhaps we were in leadership ministry and we have to step down for a season. And sometimes, as this question gets to, we apply that same logic on the home front that we feel or we question whether we still have the right to speak into the lives of our kids after what we've done. And so I understand the question and don't want to minimize the pain of our sin, the consequences of our sin, that we don't want to sugarcoat it. We don't want to water it down. We don't want to pretend as if our sin doesn't come with consequences. And sometimes that consequence, even on the home front, is a strained relationship with our wife, with our kids. But we must not let shame get the best of us. That accepting consequences is not the same as living in shame. Instead, we must learn to live in grace, where grace doesn't deny our sin. It doesn't deny the consequences of our sin, but it doesn't become the defining characteristic either. That grace reminds us that we live in a story of redemption, that we are being redeemed. And so when it comes to our fatherhood, understanding our fatherhood from a position of grace, part of what we'll remember is that fatherhood is a divine assignment given to us by God. And so it's not something that we earn. It's not something that we have achieved ourselves. It's something that we humbly submit to. And so it's a position, a role, a duty that God has given us, not one that we have simply assumed for ourselves. And so yes, while we must accept the consequences of our past sin, that does not give us the right, the privilege, the excuse to neglect our duty as fathers. That we have to keep showing up as a father, not because we've earned it, but because this is our responsibility before God to accept the assignment that He's given us. And so we have a responsibility, if we have neglected our voice, if we've given up our voice, if we've allowed shame to get the best of us due to our past sins, to then reclaim our voice. Again, not from a position of pride, hopefully from a position of humility. Because of our past sins, we now are able to speak with greater grace and compassion and empathy, but yet to still speak, because this is the position, the duty, the assignment that God has given us to speak into the lives of our kids and to show them how we can fall down but get back up again, and how we are living in a story of redemption, that our past sins doesn't require us to become silent or to effectively castrate us, but a story of redemption allows us to live in the fullness of God's calling for us even still. And so no, your past sins do not excuse you from fatherhood. Accept the consequences of your sin, but learn how to step back into your divine assignment, to offer your presence, to offer your strength, to offer your voice once again to your kids. If this resonates with you, then like and subscribe so we can continue this conversation about how we can rise and reign as kingdom men throughout our life and relationships. And if you're still struggling with the shame of your past sins, then check out this next video in which we explore the insights from the 3 little pigs of how you can finally beat your big bad wolf.